Hi, I'm Sarah with Abby's Attic Sewing School, and this is a quick refresher tutorial on cutting patterns. We've already laid out and pinned several of the pieces that we're going to cut today, so I'm just going to go over a refresher of things that make it easy. We've already pinned, and I want to make sure that when I pinned, my pattern is really secure to my fabric. If we have something on the fold, that's almost always the first thing I'm going to cut. So, you will notice with sewing shears, there's a long straight line here so that they can be flush on the table. Our scissors should be in contact with the table when we're cutting. That gives us the most control over where we're cutting and the fabric. So even if you're cutting something really thick and heavy like denim, this gives you control so that you don't get ragged edges. So my scissors are on the table. I'm adjusting my pin so that it's out of the way, and I'm cutting. You may notice I'm not jamming my scissors all the way up. I'm having a nice, long, smooth cut. And I'm keeping my scissors in contact with the table. I've got my hand to keep this fabric from shifting around, and I've got my pins to keep control around my curves. And we don't need to rush. We don't need to hurry anything. Now, I've reached something where my hand is perpendicular to my body, and this is no longer comfortable, so I'm going to move. Now I'm cutting nice and straight. Whee! Nope, I've got some points. I come back. I'm going to remember to cut my points. And I'm going to keep going. I am perpendicular. I've got a corner here. I'm actually going to cut past that corner. Now I can fold that back out of the way. I'm going to stop and back up and do the other folded edge cut and meet that point coming from the other direction. Again, I'm cutting past the curve. Now, if you've pinned well, you can move everything around and get it to a point where you can be in control of that fabric. I'm making nice, gentle little cuts. I've got some points right in the middle of my curve here. And go slow and steady, we get a nice, clean cut. All right, so there's piece number one. And the other piece, which I've pinned, oh hey, look, I pinned it really well so it stayed in place. I'm gonna move this closer to me. I'm not that tall. There we go. So I have it where I need it. And again, I don't need any of this fabric. This is just gonna be scrap. So I'm starting from my edge, remembering to cut my point. Oh, see, I didn't have my hand in place and I jogged my fabric. Go past that. And because what I'm doing is very small and I'm on the edge, I'm being in total control. I'm going to pull that out of the way, right off the end. Some patterns have points like this. This isn't 5 points, it's 1 point, and they're at different places for the different sizes. I'm cutting the largest, so I'm going to cut where the first point is. Again, I'm just going to cut right off that end. I've got an interior corner here. These can be a little tricky sometimes. There's a lot of interior corners on things like bags and purses, wallets. You may notice I'm making the cutting easy on myself by moving the pattern and the fabric where it's physically easiest for me. That allows me control over the fabric in the best way. Cutting past, carefully cutting right to the point. Turning again. And then my last cut is a curve. There we go. I'm not going to separate my pattern from my fabric yet because I have points I need to mark, but then this piece will be ready to flip over and cut the next piece. Thank you for watching. I'm Sarah with Abbey'sAtticSewingSchool.com. Thank you.